Welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly Tuesday night show all about cigar. Are you mimicking me? No. All in favor of voting Scott off the island, signify by raising your...
Oh, really, Scott?
Wow, it's...
Get out of here.
You got Bruce and Paul doing it too.
Get out of here. Our whole audience raised their hands.
My mom didn't raise her.
All I know is I think you're just overwhelmed with all that wonderful food we just had at Barbecue.
That's true. Good
Which is just coincidentally a couple doors down for the greatest barbecue in town. That rhymes, I think. MyBBQBBQ.com. More plugs, more gratuitous plugs. You can see all our past shows and everything else on our website, which is
cccigars.com.
Glad somebody remembers.
That's
Double C.
Cigars.com. Okay, lunkheads.
And you can
don't
see
say
hottie
anything.
pictures of me.
Yeah, hottie pictures. Woohoo. Anywho, you can also see it on our YouTube channel, which I have no clue.
It's on YouTube, though.
It's on YouTube.
Just go to YouTube, put in Cigar Time, and pray. Yeah,
You'll find it. It's there somewhere.
Eventually.
yeah, you'll find it eventually. Or go to our website. Take advantage of all our wonderful deals and steals or whatever.
Instagram.
Okay, I think we need to have a show here, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
all right.
Lovely, Miss Tia.
I got
Will
voted off, so-
tell us about our cigar today.
Our cigar
outta
today is
here.
the Diamond Crown Julius Caesar. The wrapper is a Havana seed Ecuadorian. The binder, I don't know about the binder.
It's an
The binder is an NA.
The binder's
obscure kind of binder called NA.
NA. The binder is irrelevant.
And the filler is from Central American tobacco.
They actually keep that tight lip. They won't tell anybody what the blend is. That's
They
why
will
it's-
not tell you.
That's exactly right.
And that's why it's
Oh.
only
Not telling
Central
you.
American tobaccos. You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Dominican.
No.
He's like,
Not
"Smell
Central
you,
American.
man." The sizes, wait a minute. Sorry. The sizes are Churchill, Pyramid, Robusto, and Toro. We haven't heard Pyramid in a long time. That's a pretty cool size. And the flavor profile is rich, nutty, milk chocolatey, like me, leather flavor.
Wait a
Wait a second. With the milk chocolate or the leather flavor?
No,
The
the
milk
No, she
chocolate
meant
with
the
the
nutty.
leather flavor.
She's rich and nutty.
I kind of like the milk
Rich.
chocolate.
That's right.
What is wrong with my throat today? Excuse me.
You don't
This
smoke
was
enough.
produced by This is produced by Fuente and available by J.C. Newman. This is a tribute to the man himself who founded J.C. Newman, Mr. Julius Caesar Newman. It's a medium body and a great smoke.
And the tobacco's aged 5 years.
Aged 5 years.
Yeah, no.
And just came out about 3-4 years ago. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So we're messing around
I
with
can't wait to smoke
5-year-olds.
this cigar. Just the rich, nutty milk chocolate
Oh
makes
my
you want to
God.
light it up. Really? Don't you like them kind of flavors?
No, I'm
What?
talking about what Paul said.
Since when do you pay any attention to
I
him?
don't know.
That was your first mistake.
Something went in my throat. I'm sorry.
Paul, what are you going to ramble on about today?
Well, you might remember that
You might remember this.
a few
A
weeks.
kiss is just a kiss.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
never mind.
I swore not
Play it
to
again,
sing. Now you're going to do it.
Yeah, but at least I have a voice for radio.
The only thing we're not
And a
allowed,
fake.
the only thing we're not allowed to do is have Mike tell jokes.
Oh my God. Oh.
So, go ahead.
Several weeks back, I shared with you the story of how I got started in the cigar business and about my crazy trip to Nicaragua.
Have you ever got a postcard from that young boy you picked up?
No,
Are you in a habit of picking up young boys?
no,
That was good, Rob.
Are you just jealous?
no.
remembering the story.
However,
Kid loves broccoli, though.
he played. Oh God! I'm not going to explain that.
No, we
That's an
can't. We
inside joke.
cannot explain that one.
And,
He did play an instrumental role in the story I'm
Oh, I
about
thought
to
you
tell
played
you.
an
Okay,
instrument,
there
a
you go.
flute.
oh my God.
How about the oboe?
I don't like where this is going.
No,
at
me
all.
neither.
I think it's pretty cool, actually, myself.
So as I mentioned at the time, for a while I was buying cigars from the old Cuban guy.
The next cigar you buy will be the first.
That's not true. He buys cigars all the time.
Every
does?
day, all the time.
You see the money actually go into the
I
till?
say, come
I
out
am
of his
one of
pocket
your
and get
best-
Come out of his pocket into the
Into
till?
it.
Does
I
it
am-
have like a string attached?
Yeah, I'm like
It's
Top Cat.
Yeah, Top Cat. I love that show. It's a great show.
Can you get serious for a moment?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, I was buying cigars from that guy before he disappeared with millions of dollars and a young American woman. You might remember that story.
Not the young boy.
Not a young boy.
Okay.
I did pretty well selling those cigars. I made a decent amount of money, which was nice. In 1998, a few years into the process, an enormous hurricane arrived in Central America. I don't know if you folks will remember this. It was one of the worst hurricanes to hit Central America in history. It stalled over Honduras and Nicaragua and sat there for almost 5 days, stationary, with 100+ mile-an-hour winds and torrential rains. And in fact, thousands and thousands of people were killed. It was truly a massive disaster. There was aid programs taking place from all over the world to send support to the people down in Nicaragua. And I was on the phone talking with the fellow at the hotel that I had stayed at, or as Rob would put it, the young boy.
That you picked up.
And I was asking him about how the aid programs were working. You know, was it helpful? And he said from his perspective, the edible food, the drinkable water, and the medications were all useful, but they were not going to solve the basic problem at all. The basic problem, as he defined it, was about 80% of the people who live in Nicaragua are subsistence farmers. That means they grow enough food to eat, and that's about it. Most of them didn't have jobs. Most of them maybe owned the land that they lived on and had a little shack or a hut on it and grew enough to eat and maybe sell a little bit on the side to have a little money to buy the things they couldn't make for themselves. But almost 2/3 of those farms had been washed away in the course of the hurricane. I mean, you have to understand the magnitude of this disaster. Nicaragua is one of the countries that has the most volcanoes in the world, even though it's a very small country. On the west coast of Nicaragua, one of the volcanoes completely filled with water, completely, the entire crater. And then the whole side of the mountain collapsed out onto a village that was perched under the mountain. 20,000 people died in that village alone.
Wow.
And there were stories like this all over Nicaragua at that time. So he was explaining to me that the real problem was all of these families who really had nothing more than a little chunk of land and the food that they could grow there, and now that was gone. So, you know, when the aid ran out, what were they supposed to do? I had a crazy idea. I had another crazy idea.
Yes,
and a long list of crazy ideas.
Yeah, the first of many. I asked him how much it would cost to buy an acre of land in Nicaragua that you could grow food on, and how much it would cost to build a house on it that would be comparable to the kinds of houses that they used to have before everything got washed away. And what we're talking about is cinder blocks, dirt floors, and a corrugated tin roof. Amazingly, his answer was about $200 US.
Wow.
Is what it would cost to buy an acre of land and build a house on it.
Wow.
I would love that.
I've never been a guy who was big on working with big organized charities, but I had this idea. I had been making money at that point for a few years, primarily from Nicaragua, and I felt like maybe there was a way I could give something back to the country. So what I did is I flew back down with another suitcase full of cash, but this time not to buy cigars. What I actually did is I bought 100 acres of land. And that was $20,000. I bought 100 acres of land, and then the young guy, I'll call him that, the young guy and I worked with a couple of priests to find specific families that had been completely wiped out by the hurricane. And what we did is we gave each family 1 acre of land and told them we would build a house on it. They actually, that proceeded pretty quickly, and the government stayed completely out of our way and let us do it. I didn't lease them back the land or rent them the land. I just granted it right to them after I had bought it. And right before we started building the houses, all of the families that we had gathered together for this little village, I guess, got together and they decided on their own that what they really wanted to do was, instead of each having their acre and their house, they would put all of the houses together in one corner of the 100 acres and collectively farm the rest of it, mostly to grow corn and beans and some chickens. And their thought was they would then be able to sell that to a larger town a little ways away. And that way they would have food and they would have money and they would have a future of some kind.
Smart.
So that's what we did. We built the houses all together, 100 houses in a row. The priest that helped us came in to bless the village, and the families, on their own steam, put up a street sign that the priest also blessed. And to my dying day, I will be very proud of this. The street sign says Calle Paul Major on it. Paul Major Street in Spanish. This little town is about halfway between Managua and Esteli, where all the cigar business is. It's about 2 miles outside of the nearest town that has a name, which is the town of San Isidro. And we built it all. We set it up. The families moved in. They started planting their beans and corn. The second year, another group of people, through the priest that we had worked with, came in and set up running water from the other village. And the third year, someone came in and brought in electricity. So it became an ongoing process.
Wow.
That really put these people in a new position in life. Why do I tell that story? I don't know. I guess because I'm proud of it.
That's a wonderful story.
Yeah,
You
it is a
should
good
be
story.
proud of
I didn't know you were
that.
this philanthropic.
In general, I'm not. I'm a very selfish guy. but
At least he's
honestly,
honest.
honestly, for someone to say to me, for $200 out of your pocket, you can hand a family their entire life back in a sustainable way that they can keep going forward.
It's a beautiful story.
It just seemed mind-boggling to me not to do it.
I was waiting for you to be planting the tobacco. And,
You know, people
I
ask
was
me
waiting
that
for
all
that
the
too.
time. Did it become a tobacco growing co-op? And no, they still do their corns and beans and chicken.
do you have much contact with them?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you ever go back down?
I've been down several times, not in the last couple of years, but what's interesting is now there are trees growing on Paul Major Street, and you know, it looks like a real village.
That's cool.
When I several years back, I brought my father with me on one of my adventures, and we stopped off in Paul Major Village, and it was really cute. This little old grandma, who was the recipient of the first house that we built, came running out of the house, Senor Paul, and she started yakking. She started talking to my father in Spanish, and he doesn't speak a word. But the bottom line of what she said was, this man's place in heaven is reserved for him forever. And would you like to buy my granddaughter?
You know what?
Yeah. I've had people say that to me, except they use hell instead of heaven. You can say hell, right?
You can say hell on television.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're just dying to curse on TV, aren't you?
Who, me?
Yeah,
No, he is. He's the one who
He's
said
already
it.
done it.
Oh, yeah,
he
I know.
has.
We call him Bleep instead of Scott anymore.
The only postmark to that story, or postscript to that story, that I wanted to add is, when I got to Ecuador and started putting together land for, you know, my plantation and cigar factory down there, and I told that story to the people that I dealt with in Ecuador, all they wanted to know is, okay, when are you building our village?
Yeah, when you building ours,
Exactly.
yeah. That's a beautiful story.
That's a nice story there, Paul.
That is a very nice story.
Thank you.
Calle
you, Paul.
Paul Major.
Yeah,
That's
Paul
very
Major.
impressive.
Yeah, because he told us that he had it, but he didn't tell us the story.
Yeah, we
so
didn't
that
know the
was
whole
nice.
story. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time for us to talk about Julius Caesar.
Let's start with the
All
amazing
hail
Paul.
Caesar.
Who wants
Well, in 44 BC.
44 BC? I'm
On
not
this
that
day?
Julius Caesar.
On this day in
Julius
44
Caesar.
BC?
Is that why? Is that what it says on the band?
No.
No.
What did it say on the band?
It's a lot of Roman numeral numbers. I can't remember them. I'm
Those
trying
aren't
to
Roman
add them
numerals.
up.
They're just MDCCC.
Probably
They're
equals
numbers.
1895.
It's Diamond Crown. Oh, and that's on the side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's talk about the cigar for a moment. Who wants to take the lead?
She was talking about the band.
Well, she's going to talk about the band when it's her turn to talk about the cigar, which can be now.
Right now.
Right now. Hey
Okay.
now.
I'm getting the leathery, definitely the leathery taste. Little milk chocolatey. Love the band. This looks a little toothy to me.
It is very
Yeah.
good.
It is
Yeah.
very toothy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say very toothy. I wasn't.
Good call.
Thank you. Beautiful construction. I love the. It's a Havana seed Ecuadorian. Is that why it's a little darker, the wrapper, than a lot of the other Ecuadorians? It's kind of a darker.
Yeah, this is in Ecuador and
wrapper.
Connecticut. Although they don't say, my guess is that this is a very old school Ecuadorian Sumatra, which
Yeah.
means it's
Okay.
50% Cameroon.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the breeding, Ecuadorian Sumatra is a crossbreed between Indonesian and Cameroon.
If you look close, you can see the flex
Yeah.
in the wrapper.
And every
Cameroon.
one of those is
Indicative
flavor.
of
Cameroon.
Of a Cameroon.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I was.
I love
That's
the color.
the
Yeah,
toothiness.
yeah.
Color, this is beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous. Yeah.
It is
It's a beautiful
gorgeous,
cigar.
and it's sheen, has a sheen, and
Although mine's not
I
burning
love the
very well.
band.
That's funny. Mine, look at it.
I didn't
Mine-
want
Yours
it
is burning perfect.
perfect.
Oh,
Very
yours might
Mine's
be
not.
use or error.
It
In
probably
fact,
is.
I was going to comment on the
why I
construction
don't use a
because this
blowtorch
cigar
every
is
time.
hard as a rock, but it draws
It's
perfect.
It is
packed.
drawing
It's nicely
perfectly.
packed, but it draws nicely.
This one is really soft.
Mine's hard.
Mine,
On that
sure it
note,
is.
we'll
Sure
move
it
on
is.
to Rob.
I have a, I don't want to say a defective cigar, but it's basically what it is.
I still say
this
it's
cigar,
use or
it
error.
could be user error, who knows?
He
It
was
could be.
canoeing.
Cigars are
He was
defective.
canoeing.
Maybe it's the first cigar I've ever lit, I have no idea.
Remember, it's
but
still Newman month.
It is, but having said that, it still tastes fantastic. I get the leathery notes, I get the hint of chocolate.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's very, very smooth. The wrapper's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I've smoked tons of these cigars. I love this cigar.
I wonder I keep
really
coming
do.
up short in the
But it's a shame because as soon as I lit this, I did not get the very distinct taste that I normally get when I smoke the cigar. There's something different, something off about this cigar, and you can tell by the way it's drawing and the way it's burning.
So you got mine instead.
Normally, yeah, usually.
Yeah, I usually get those.
But this is a fantastic cigar.
is a good
It really
cigar.
is.
I think
Paul?
it's really interesting that this cigar has a lot of flavor and no spice. I mean,
Right.
normally
See,
somewhere in
Yeah.
the mix there's some.
I
There
was
is no
gonna-
spice to this.
I was going to say, I am getting a little bit.
You're getting spiced on it?
Yeah, I could
Right
feel
on the
it.
top of the palate.
On the top of my mouth and
Yeah.
the tip of my
In the
tongue.
front,
I
yes.
don't
A
get
little
that.
bit
I
in the
don't get
front.
In the front. Yep. I get a little
I
bit.
get the
Rob did
nuts.
say his cigar was defective. So
It is defective. That's why I'm not getting it.
I get
yeah.
the nuts, I get the chocolate, I definitely get the leather.
Yeah.
No spice, and that's okay because the other three flavors are excellent.
What's better, no spice than Old Spice?
Well, there are brands of
That's
cigars
all.
that taste like Old Spice,
know,
but we
they
don't
all
want to
can't
talk
be
about
right.
I
that.
love Old
You know that
Spice.
commercial, "Make my son into a man." The Old Spice. You made my son into a man.
No, I don't remember that. I don't. What am I going to do? Lie to the entire nation?
This is called bombing out. Scott, speaking of
Scott.
bombing out,
Moody Sky.
What? This is very. I'm surprised. I very much like this cigar. And the description.
why are you surprised? It's a super
Because I've had
premium
it.
cigar.
I've had the first one I had. I didn't really enjoy, but I'm liking them more
You
and
gotta
more.
smoke. You gotta smoke 50 or 60 of them before you really cultivate a taste. for it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm on like number 5. So
Okay.
I'm
Well, you
getting
gotta
there.
waste
I'm
time
getting
on
there.
that.
Buy a box?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Go ahead.
But I think it is nutty. I get I do get some spice, and Paul said he didn't.
I get
and,
it too.
But and I think the smoke really coats your entire palate, especially
Yeah.
the roof of your mouth and the front of my tongue.
Yep.
So I did get that spice, the leather, and milk chocolate. Great burn, and the wrappers, the color of that wrapper.
It's gorgeous.
Isn't
It's
it?
really
Yeah,
nice
it is.
chocolate
Beautiful.
brown.
It's a beautiful cigar.
My turn?
Yeah.
Well, for once, I'm getting it all. I'm getting exactly what everybody's talking about. I'm
Nice.
getting a little bit of spice on the tip of the upper tongue. I'm certainly tasting the leather and the chocolate. It has a semi-sweet finish. The wrapper is gorgeous. And let me just demonstrate when you don't have user error what it looks like.
Oh
This
my
is-
God.
This
He
is
said
what it
user
looks like.
error.
Really? Really?
When you're not canoeing.
When you get user error, it's usually because you didn't light it correctly. I don't want to point fingers at anyone.
He's not even canoeing. Ron is kayaking.
He's kayaking. Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is a great cigar with one slight caveat. This
Yeah.
is, again, as I said a few weeks ago, it's not 3 for $1. These are another uber premium product by
This
J.C.
is what we
Newman.
call treat yourself.
Yeah, this is a
You know what?
Absolutely.
yeah, celebratory,
Yeah.
special occasion. You know,
It
if
doesn't
you
have to be.
yeah, if you know are making 7 or 8 figures, it can be your everyday cigar.
It's not that. It's not like it's like $25. It's like $11.50.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
this one, we're smoking the Toro. This is $13.75,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, these are just
Still, it's
All right,
not,
so get the
crazy.
Robusto for $11.
it's not a 5-6 cigar a day kind of cigar.
The Robusto's not a Robusto. It's
I'd love it to
it's
be
more of a
because I love this
Don't
cigar.
correct me.
When you're
well,
wrong, you're wrong.
I
Don't
guess we ought to
correct
associate some numbers to this cigar at this point.
Well, one thing
Remember,
I wanted to, before we did that, the one thing I wanted to say is I find it interesting that this is, the chocolate in this is very distinct milk chocolatey
Yes,
versus most
as
of
opposed
to
the
sweet
time
dark chocolate,
I get
right.
a, yeah, like
yeah,
a
this,
real
is,
heavy
this, is,
cocoa or
this is sweet
yeah.
chocolate.
Semi-bitter.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
this is
This is that
very
vanilla
milky
and
chocolate.
chocolate
Right.
mixed
Yet,
together.
Do you
it's
wanna,
still all
It's
wound
the
up very
swirl.
complex.
You wanna-
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Paul. As we introduced a couple weeks ago, we have the flavor wheels, and this kind of shows you on the flavor wheel where these the flavors fall. You've got your the buttery and creamy, the caramel or the chocolatey, and then the woody, and there you go. So
What do you
The nutty.
woody and
Woody and Allen.
Allen.
Okay.
Exactly.
Woody Allen.
So I think it's time to put. Now remember, our scale is 0 to 5.
Oh, do we really do 0? Never
Not
done
so
0.
far.
Not so far, no.
We could have another one of those Dominicos. I can give it a 0. You know?
Moving along, Miss Tia, what would you put on this?
Because of the price, which I think is good, I'm going to say 4.5.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you know that rating I gave the Dominico, the 275?
He likes to bring
Yeah.
that up.
Evelyn came in. She came to me and saw that episode. She goes, "Yeah, she's reblending the cigar now
Really? Well, maybe
Why?
that's a good thing.
because I told her I didn't like it, so she's reblending
That's
it."
stupid. It sells.
I know.
His
I know.
taste.
What
What
are
do
you
you
gonna
want? Pedestrian, amateur.
Oh my God, it's not even true. This cigar is fantastic. I give this 4.85.
Wow.
I love this cigar. I really, really do.
That's a rating.
Paul?
I give it a 4.65. I like it a lot.
I
That-
go
Much
to
better than I thought. I'm going to give it a 4.25.
4.25.
Good
If he would have he probably would have rated it lower yesterday.
Complicating my calculations here. No, I disagree with all of you. Well, no, I agree with some of the ones that gave it better rating. This is a 4.75 to me. This is a great cigar. I love this
All right,
cigar.
I'll give it a 4.3. How about that? You feel better now?
4.56.73.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Stop!
Check the numbers, see if I'm right.
Stop!
No, it's a great cigar. A little pricey, but a really, really great cigar.
Definitely worth it.
It is worth
Okay.
it.
And part of our the
We have some upcoming
Newman
events.
not
Newman
this week.
man.
Next week we do.
Next, what do we have next week? Can we give them a hint or no?
No, because I don't know off the top of my head where they are.
We'd have to kill
Tune
them
in
if we
next
told
week
them.
for it.
Any in Reading? No.
No.
Coming to Reading.
No,
or-
but in all the well, we have the specials in all the stores where if you buy
Yes.
you buy any 4 Newman products, you're going to get a gift certificate to their Connoisseurs Club, which entitles you to a T-shirt and 4 more premium, including a very super premium cigar.
Ooh, a
Don't
t-shirt.
forget the trips to Tampa.
The
Trips to
trip,
Tampa.
the all expense
Absolutely.
paid trip. I'm jealous.
Well, you don't get a trip just for buying the 4.
No,
No, you got
What, you going to
Boy,
like a
what a deal.
raffle or something?
You can, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, you can.
We're going to have 9 of our stores will be feeding into a raffle that 4 or 5 consumers will be plucked from it and get all expense trip to Tampa, factory visit, hotel, airfare, meals, the whole schmear. A trip you won't soon forget. And trust us, it's a very enjoyable few days. I think we have time for our last topic. No? Yes?
Columbus Day.
Maybe?
Yeah, Columbus
Rob's
Day.
topic,
Columbus Day in
date in
history?
history.
This date in history.
Right first?
In what?
Can I go first?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to tell you the year, but it's the day my wife was born.
Oh.
Happy
Oh.
birthday, Sandy.
Happy birthday,
1945.
Sandy.
My mom's name is Candy.
No
Oh,
way.
that's so
They're
cute,
practically
yeah.
sisters.
Oh my God.
Wait a minute. He's Sandy. She's Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom is Candy.
And his is Sandy.
Oh my God.
No?
Sister from another
Don't
mister.
Happy birthday, Sandy.
Happy birthday.
Happy
who-
birthday.
DY.
In 1579, Sir Francis Drake claimed San Francisco Bay for England on this date.
I always had my doubts about
You
him.
really like your history. You
And
really go far
Max
back.
was
You really
there.
go way
Max
back.
was there. In 1775, the British took Bunker Hill.
The Battle
Those
of Bunker Hill.
Say that one. Please say that one.
No wonder I like tea.
In 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte incorporated Italy into his empire.
Yes! The French take over Italy.
He was not French. He was Italian. He was born in Corsica.
I know where he was born. He was a
The
Corsican.
year before he was born, France took over Corsica from Italy, but his parents were Italian because they were there before. But anyway, it's a whole different story.
He's sensitive.
In 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City.
Oh, that's
You know who the sculptor was?
Sonia Henning?
Close.
Louis Eiffel.
Was it? Oh,
His last name was Eiffel.
could be.
It's Louis.
I think.
In
Louis, I think you're right.
In 1963, the Supreme Court banned the required reading of the Lord's Prayer and the Bible
Yeah,
in
we've gone
public
down.
schools.
We've gone downhill ever since.
Everything
since.
happened in 1776?
What, on this date?
No.
Now that the
Maybe.
Supreme Court
Wasn't
decision.
the day the Continental Congress put together a committee to write the Declaration of Independence?
Today on this
No,
day?
that was last week.
That's what I said last week.
Last week.
Well, we
1776.
didn't talk about it. We didn't get to this topic last week, so
Yeah,
that's why I
that's
wanted to
true.
bring it up.
Kind of
Oh,
kind of
we're going to be
yeah,
running
last
out of
week.
time for this topic if we don't rush through it.
Notable birthdays: Barry Manilow was born on this date.
Very notable.
Very
Manilow.
mellow.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Yeah.
San
Joe
Francisco
Piscopo
Bay,
was born.
Hey,
today.
Pride of North Jersey.
Greg Kinnear, and Venus Williams,
Great
Nice,
tennis
Venus.
player.
and his sister, his brother.
No,
Serena.
Peyton Tennis?
I thought it was the other way around.
They're
I thought they
both
both
men,
were.
so-
You know what?
Oh.
Wow.
Exit that.
Send your mail to
5:30.
The hater.
537
Easton
Easton Road.
Attention, Rob.
be sure to
Your
mark
Uncle
the
Max.
envelope.
Just put Rob P on the envelope. That's P-E-E. Rob
Yeah.
P.
Right. That's right. That's all I have
I
right
just
now. So.
snorted.
Nothing
We
else
only have-
happened that
yeah,
year?
less than a
That
minute.
day?
What?
Nothing.
Nothing else happened that day?
No. A
Hey,
couple other things, yeah. But
We should say what gas prices were.
we're in the middle of June, and the Phillies
They were so much
are
lower.
just, what can I say?
yeah. Very nondescript. Very nice.
My
What can I
They're
say?
looking good.
What can I say? Go Phillies.
Go Phillies.
Time to say goodbye.
Smoke happy and folks smoke often.
My mom, life's too cheap to smoke.
I knew it. We were gonna get them eventually.
Quickly?
Eventually.
Life's too cheap.
Smoke sweet. Bye bye for now. Hi, Dad.
Ciao for now, everybody.
As always, thank you very much for your patronage. Thank you very much for viewing our program. We look forward to seeing you every week at this time. Bye-bye for now. See ya.
Life's too cheap to
Bye.
smoke
Bye.